You need to know moving forward in this real estate market. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. We got another hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. We're just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And folks, we have a lot to talk about right now with this real estate market. My gosh. You know, one of the things I find myself saying on this channel a lot is this is the real estate channel, but this is much bigger than real estate. Real estate is a great way to temperature check our economy. Everything hinges on the real estate market. If the real estate market crashes, everything crashes. We know that to be in fact truth. And the reality is, folks, I bring a lot of my experience, strength, and hope to these videos for you. I'm really trying to help you understand and not have to go through some of the things that I went through. I don't regret the past, but I certainly don't want to repeat it over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So in the last real estate bubble, we can look to the most recent one, the 2008 era. Many people, myself included, went out and bought in the height of a bubble. And of course, once I bought my property, I was very excited, just like many of the people buying properties right now are very excited. They got this home because they put all this pressure to get the home. This one was really on hyper speed though, because people in the last bubble weren't going above and beyond appraised values. I mean, I stuck my last property in the height of the market under asking price, and I was catching a falling knife. It was still on its way down. So, you know, the reality is that right now, a lot of people are going to defend their position of recently making a purchase. I mean, that's just common, you know, psychology. I always say that. This is the psychology of people and the psychology of sales. So if you just bought, the last thing you want to do is admit that maybe you're in a real estate bubble, and maybe historical data would show that real estate bubbles pop not 1%, 2%, 100% of the time. Nobody wants to admit that. I understand. I get it. And I'm here for everybody. Like I've always said, my job is to help people. And I've always said this as well. You don't get hurt in real estate when you buy at the wrong time. You get hurt in real estate when you sell at the wrong time, and we're entering a recession. And people are going to be forced to market. People will have to sell. That is just what happens in a recession. If that doesn't happen, this will be the first time in history. I don't like those odds. I pretty much like to, I like to follow odds that are in my favor. So, one of the things we have to talk about today, friends, is I'm not the only person on YouTube warning about, the recession and the blowback from the pandemic. I'm not the only person out there. My good friend Dan over at I Allegedly continues to do this, and many other channels. I got links in the description of many channels that I've went on and had conversations about this. I saw another YouTube creator, don't even know the guy. He never even shows his face. He ripped off one of my titles, posted it. It is a big channel, bigger than mine, and then started bagging on me that I didn't know what I was talking about. Even showed a clip from my video in one of his videos. He's probably in the basement of his parents' home creating YouTube videos, bagging on grown-ups that have been in a crash before. This kid's never seen a crash. He was probably playing Call of Duty, eating Captain Crunch in the last crash. Peter Schiff, one of the biggest investors out there that's very vocal about the pitfalls that we are currently heading in, warning people, operates a massive, massive investment firm, warning people. Elon Musk tweets, he believes a recession coming this year. Summer or spring, he tweets it. The tweet gets taken down. What's he do? Buys Twitter. Good for him. Good for him. Right on, Elon Musk. Do your thing. The thing is about Elon, the richest guy in the world, most successful company in the world. That company is massive. A lot of people made a lot of money on that stock. And I wish I had stayed in that stock, but I don't trust the stock market because I'm not a stock market guy. I'm a real estate guy. And we're going to talk about real estate towards the end of this video because I want you to be poised for success in real estate. 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate. It wasn't by buying their home, it was by buying other people's home. Not in the height of a real estate bubble, buying outside a bubble. We're going to talk about that today at the end of the video. So please stay tuned because I'm going to give you my most fail-proof advice that I know of to achieve that. I had to learn it the hard way so you don't have to. And so we have like the Peter Schiffs, the Elon Musks. Warning, the big heavy hitters, nothing to gain from a downturn. I've always said myself, I'm not recession proof, but I'm recession insulated, and I'm a level-headed realist that understands when you get an economy overheated through stimulating it, there's blowback. The dust settles. You pay the piper. And we're seeing that now. So now we're on borrowed time. This is, in fact, a ticking time bomb. It will have a domino effect as we start to move through people that can no longer keep up with their cost of living. Eventually, ultimately, one thing always goes. The house. Take it from me, the house always goes. You'll hang on to it for as long as you can until finally acceptance sets in and you accept you gotta let it go. Acceptance is always the answer to all our problems. The sooner we can accept something, the sooner we can move on, move forward, and get out of the problem and in the solution. Insanity, friends. I really hope you're seeing these things. I love coming here and talking. I'm a salesman. I'm a trained salesman. I always let you guys know this comes down to the psychology of people and the psychology of sales. And as somebody who's studied people for many, many years on a professional level and had to learn, that's another thing that was really hard in sales, is not to be a pushy salesman. Anytime we see a salesman, walls go up. Sales guy alert. And so one of the things I'm so grateful for, more lucky than skilled, I'm sure, is I've developed a demeanor that allows me to resonate, connect with people, put their needs before my own, and that allows me to be a success no matter what I'm doing in life. So please always remember that. Like I said, this is the real estate channel, much bigger than real estate. A lot of things we can learn. And as long as we continue to learn, even as a grown person, see, when we're young, we feel like we know it all. We don't want to take advice from these old people. These old people don't know anything. Now we start to realize, wow, probably should have listened to some of these people that came before me. Insanity. So friends, listen, the realities are the number one thing that I can suggest right now, moving forward, somebody who loves real estate. I've never worked a day in my life as long as I've worked in real estate. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I love it that much to the point. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Today, I have a great life. Like I said, I'm not in my basement of my parents' home making YouTube videos. I am out living life to its fullest. Enjoy it. I want you to do the same. The number one thing I will say, you've heard me say this before, it's not as important to own where you live. It's just important to own. Stop putting all this pressure to buy a house, especially in the height of a real estate bubble. But even like I said, if you were to buy today, there's one golden rule that you can use today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Whenever you enter this market and buy your next property, which I will be here for you, hopefully. If I'm looking at a property, I want to know, and many homeowners have no idea. Leave a comment in the comments below if you know what the rent range is of your property. Most people don't. So the number one thing, if I'm looking at a home, even if it's my primary home, I want to live in this home, as an added level of security, I check the property's rent range and make sure if I'm not an all-cash buyer with no payment, because you're always going to have property tax insurance and repairs and deferred maintenance. There's always a lot of things that come along with ownership, even if you don't have a mortgage payment. But you want to get your estimated cost to own and make sure whatever you have to come up with per month is under the property's rent range. It's the number one thing that you should do when buying property. It's essential when you're buying investment property, because what do you want? A positive cash flow. Positive cash flow monthly. This is your path to wealth, friends, and it starts with one property. It all starts with one property. You can buy a house, figure out its rent range, and just turn it into a rental and go move into a cracker box and let it accumulate some money and then roll it into another one and do this a few times. And eventually, within 5-10 years max, you now are living off of rental income. But if you're impatient, you're like, I don't want to wait 5 or 10 years, which is today's digital diet society, Robin Hood, Webull, millennial mentality, scary, is you can always move into the property's house and rent out the converted garage and get your feet wet collecting rents, managing tenants. I had somebody ask me recently, friends, gosh, don't you hate managing property? Isn't it a pain dealing with tenants? Not if you have great tenants. Great tenants are the key. Here, horrible tenants are the worst, and I've gotten stuck with a few that are really challenging. We will talk later, hopefully, about tenant placement, screening tenants, high-level tenants. My job is to take you to find your wealth in real estate. And like I said before, friends, in final thoughts, if I haven't already said it before, the path to wealth will be in real estate. You will find it. It probably isn't buying in the height of a real estate bubble, but if you are, make sure if you're carrying a payment at any level, it is in or around the property's rent range, because there's a very high likelihood if you buy today, tomorrow, the property may not be worth what you paid. It's just the reality of a bubble environment, and we've produced the biggest one ever recorded in history. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like more access to me, along with other channels I've appeared on I think you would love. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in the US, email link is in the description as well. Feel free to contact me. As always, please go make it count today. We'll see you on the next video.